losses. Coach for the Mounties, Bob Jackson, in his 10th year with a record of 96 wins and 18 losses, bringing a winning percentage of 84%. Some stats for the Mounties.
Welcome inside the National Sports Radio Station here on Spreaker.com, home of the Mount SAC Mounties here in Walnut, California, home of one of the more winningest programs over the last half decade. And we bring on our beloved guest Brian here for the pregame report. Brian, Mount SAC has won with regularity here, and they start 3-0.
Well, you know, they've been taking care of the ball on the defensive end for them last week against Ventura. 12 sacks. That's a loss of 97 yards. But they do absolutely have to clean up the penalty situation. They had 16 for 171 yards. Look for Coach Javs to hopefully improve his squad for this game and match up against Chaffey, who's looking for a big win here at Mount SAC.
We talk about Mount SAC and how they were penalized galore last week. Is that a testament to, I guess, not really preparing for that competition, or do you believe that Mount SAC, we haven't seen the best of the football team quite yet?
Well, I think it's just maybe a little bit of both, but I think Mount SAC plays such an aggressive defense that they're just playing their own game. And if they get penalized, they get penalized. But that's the thing that they have to fix, is that they can play that intense and that strong on that offense, but they have to clean it up, especially tonight against Chaffey.
I mean, that is amazing. Fullerton was a football team that coming into your game against Mount SAC, they were regarded as a top 5 offense. They were ranked in the top 5 among California football teams, and you beat them right in the mouth. 31-10 victory. I mean, Fullerton was a great program, and Mount SAC, I believe, defensively against the run and the pass, shut them down.
Yeah, you know, the problem was the quarterback over there, Verhey, did not get comfortable throughout the whole game. He was pressured, he was sacked, he was dropped. I mean, he didn't have his pocket presence to distribute the ball. So he felt pressured throughout the whole game, and credit to the Mounties defense for that. And ergo, you know, their running back they relied heavily on their running back to carry them offensively.
In Mount SAC, not only the pass game was suffocating there for the Fullerton offense, but 1 yard per carry on the ground. I was looking at how they were doing running the football, and it was far from the kind of success that Mount SAC has had running the rock. Mount SAC's never going to light up the scoreboard through the passing game, but that running game is pretty darn good.
Well, you start with Amaris Tolbert, who's just a beast on the ground, and last week he only had, I say only, but he did have a touchdown. He did also have 9 carries for 77 yards, but he also did lead the yardage in that category with the running backs. Vaughn's also got touches. Allo rushed a few times. Wilson and Gates are also on that running back by committee, if you will. Well, let's not forget, Allo does actually have plenty of options on the outside, starting with Gilchrist, and Brandon Wilson also plays out wide as well. But he sprayed the ball over last week in Ventura. I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 different receivers.
It's amazing. Brian Tahibe joining us here on the Mount SAC pregame report. Talking about those Mounties just a little bit further. They played Chaffey today, a chance to improve to 4-0 and lead the division at a 4-0 mark, be one of the very few remaining teams in JUCO ball that is still undefeated. And as Mount SAC will take on Chaffey, what are your, notables to look out for in today's game?
Well, you look at one of the twins, C.D. Tama Avena, who played such a great game last week, part of that SAC by committee, if you will, that took over in Ventura last week. I find that he's one of their key players on defense, and I look on their offensive side to not only have some ability to run the ball and kind of establish it early on, but that does open up the passing game as well.
I do have to ask, though, with Mount SAC, I'm very interested on what they have to offer. It looks like we may have a national anthem, which means I put my question on hold here. In fact, we will. We'll return to the Mount SAC Football Radio Network.
How do you do that?
I am connected.
I muted you. Okay.
He's on big today. Crazy basketball. Ask him one question. Yeah, it might be recorded. Thank you for joining us here on the Mount SAC pregame report. I have a final question here for Brian. Obviously, a pleasure to have you join us here. Mount SAC looking for their 4th win of the year. They continue their undefeated mark, and they're top of the division rankings. They'd be number 1 also in Southern California among JUCO rankings. And Brian, what makes Mount SAC so good? I mean, is it simply the talent level that's so much ahead of the competition, or is this coaching staff top of the line?
I think it's both, Nick, because you have to look at not only the coaching staff, but these kids are coming from all over the country. Chris and I were broadcasting the first game. Kids from Alaska, kids from Florida, kids from Texas. They're all coming here to play at Mount SAC to get those 2 years in such a traditionally great program here. And their talent level's off the charts. And we'll see that on display tonight. I expect them to take care of Chaffey and get ready for Long Beach next week.
We'd like to thank Nick Rice for joining us on the Mount SAC Football Radio Network pregame report. Catch up with Nick at halftime with scores and stats and just about everything you'd want out of the junior college football world here on the final Saturday of the month of September. It is the Mounties of Mount San Antonio College and the Panthers of Chaffey College. And will be Mount SAC set to receive this opening kickoff. The Mounties coming off of a 27-3 victory last week on the road against the Ventura Pirates. Chaffey lost their first game of the 2014 campaign on the road to Allen Hancock. 26-14 was the final in that one. Chaffey, Brian, what you notice in the first 3 games is their defense isn't all that shabby either.
Yeah, we'll see if they can contain Allo and company. They had a tough loss last week against Allen Hancock that you mentioned. Only lost by a couple points there. So we'll see if they can bounce back defensively and see what they can do. Maybe the first opening drive here from Mount SAC, if they can force them to go 3 and out, that is a positive thing, absolutely.
It'll be Mount SAC set to receive, and the kick is a high end-over-end kick. And it will be Aaron Vons taking it at the 5, gets across the 20, now gets to the outside across the 22-yard line, and he's brought down right there. A convoy of Panthers in there to bring him down, and that's where Justin Allo and Mountie offense will come out onto the field and set up shop just underway here from Hilmer Lodge Stadium. Brian, this is the very first conference game of the season. This is the first conference game ever for Chaffey in the National Central Conference. They won their conference, the American East, last year, switched spots with Desert, and here they are looking to defend their championship themselves.
Yeah, it'll be a good test right here against Mount SAC, the number 1 nationally ranked junior college team right now.
After the loss from Riverside last week, Mounties moving up the rankings to number 1 in not only Southern California, but California as well. And number 2 in the national rankings. Opening handoff here to Omaris Tolbert, and he gets to the 27 for a pickup of 7. Tolbert, a 1-yard touchdown run last week at Ventura. The transfer from OCC, he's been fantastic for Coach Jabs so far in these first 3 games.
He's been phenomenal, to say the least, and running the hardest and strongest out of the backs in that committee for Mount SAC.
They'll get the ball here again, but this time Chaffey all over it. They'll stack them up at the line of scrimmage for no gain, and upcoming for the Mounties. Ball on their own 27. It's going to be a 3rd and 4.
Yeah, you're talking about, you're asking if, their defense could stop them possibly on this opening drive. They've done such a great job right now as far as shutting down Omaris Tolbert on that last carry.
Tolbert, the lone back here. It's a 4-receiver set for Mount San Antonio College. And a flag flies in before the snap. Looks like we're going to have a false start penalty against the Mounties. So what would have been a 3rd and 4 is now going to be a 3rd and 9. I'd say this changes the play call completely for the offense here. Perhaps Justin Allo for the first time in the contest. We'll have to go to the air. Allo threw a couple of picks last week. Had a touchdown as well. 19-yarder to Ryan Simpson. Once again, the Mounties last week, 27-3 on the road at Ventura. Snap is back. Allo drops back to pass, feels some pressure, throws, and the pass is tipped, but it's caught by Ryan Simpson, and he picks up a Mountie first down to the 39-yard line.
Ryan Simpson continuing to be Allo's favorite target. Last week he had 5 receptions for 52 yards and a touchdown as well. We'll see if he continues to go to Simpson all night long. That was his first one for a first down.
That'll set up the Mounties at their own 39, 1st and 10. A pickup of 18 through the air from Allo to Simpson. Handoff here will go to Tolbert. From Tolbert across the 40 to the 41. The Mounties will mix it up in the backfield. They'll go with the freshman Gates. They'll go with Tolbert. We'll see Brandon Wilson as well. Don't forget Aaron Vons, who had a 30-yard touchdown run a week ago. The depth for the Mounties on the offensive side of the football is certainly impressive.
I mean, it's really pick your poison on the defensive end. And right now, Chaffey's done a great job on Tolbert. We'll see if that continues here.
Gates and Wilson, the 2 backs in the backfield with Justin Allo, the quarterback. 3-receiver set. It's a play action. Allo going to fire to Simpson. He catches it. And he goes to the 44-yard line for about a pickup of 4. It's still about 6 yards short of the sticks. The Mounties need the 49 for a first down. Chaffey looking to stop up Mount SAC on their first offensive drive of the game. Just underway here from Hilmer Lodge Stadium. No score. 12 minutes left to go. Opening quarter. 4 receivers set here for the Mounties. The lone back is Brandon Wilson. Snap is back. Allo feels some pressure. Throws on the run. And the pass is nearly intercepted. They're going to say it was actually caught by Antoine Anderson of the Mounties. I thought that one might have hit the turf. So did Chaffey College. But it's going to be a 4th and short here at the 48, and it looks like the Mounties are going to keep the offense on the field and go for it.
And they're in that great territory where you can pretty much go for it, and if it doesn't work out, you're still somewhat in decent area to recover defensively if you were to turn it over on the down.
It's the Mount SAC defense that recorded 12 sacks last week at Ventura. Got to trust them. On the 4th and 1, I believe Mount SAC, the offensive line jumped again. It's going to be a false start. And that changes everything for Coach Jabs. He's going to send out the punting unit. And Chaffey is going to get the football.
Well, on that last play before it was a 4th down possible opportunity here for Chaffey, they brought the pressure, and that was led by Anthony Yim, the DB, 5'9", 193 out of Centennial Corona. He brought the heat on Allen. He threw it before he was comfortable. That's why the ball was so close to hitting the turf there. And not the pickup that they needed.
Christian Fulham back to punt it away for the Mounties. He's been fantastic through the first 3 games. It's a rugby-style punt. Spirals inside the 15. Chaffey going to let it hop, and that one's going to roll all the way down to the 1s. Another fantastic... No, now they're going to call it a touchback. So the Mounties unable to down the punt inside the 5 of the Panthers.